Welcome back. I'm Pat, that Halloween movie collector. Now, this is something I'm probably going to do for each Halloween movie. I was thinking the other day, what ifs? Okay, so if you go back to the original Halloween movie, there's certain things that happened in the movie that caused certain events. But what if certain events didn't happen? How do you think that would turn out? So I have a list of 10 that I thought of, and I said, let's go through them and think about what would happen if certain events in the OG didn't happen. How would it have turned out? So here's number one. Now, for those that don't know, number one, if you read the novelization, Judah's boyfriend's name is Danny in the novelization. In the movie, it's just boyfriend. He has no name. So my number one is, what if Danny wasn't a Minuteman and he lasted longer and Michael went upstairs and attacked both of them? Because you remember, he's walking through the house. He doesn't know that Danny's leaving yet, just to kill his sister. He's walking in, and as Danny's come down the stairs and leaves, what if he's still upstairs? What if he goes up the stairs and tries to kill them both? What if does he get overpowered because there's two on one 6-year-old boy? Think about it. What if? Number two, what if Michael was put away for life? If they deemed him criminally insane, based on Loomis's evaluation, if they actually listened to him, what if he got life? Would he have broken out? Because you remember, Loomis was coming to pick him up that night because he had just turned 21, so he had to be tried as an adult. And thus, that was his vehicle to try to get away because he knew they were coming to get him, so he wanted to get out. What if he escaped? Would he have escaped at Halloween time? Would it have been a different time of the year? Could have been a different holiday. Number three, what if Michael hadn't killed the mechanic in the Phelps truck and stolen his mechanic's jumpsuit? What if he stopped and killed somebody else? Would he be walking around? What if he killed a businessman on the way to work? Would he be wearing a 3-piece suit with a mask? Or would he have just been wearing, a T-shirt and jeans? Because you remember, that jumpsuit is just as iconic as his mask. What if he didn't kill the garage guy, the mechanic? What the hell would Michael have worn? Number four, what if Laurie told her parents that there was somebody following her? You remember, she saw him out the window when she was in class, staring at her. Then there was the interaction with Laurie, Annie, and Linda walking home. Speed kills. There he was again. Now Annie and Laurie are walking home, and she sees him staring at her from the bush, and then disappears again. And then what does she do? She goes home, looks out her bedroom window, and he's in the yard behind some laundry, staring up at her bedroom. Hello? I told my daughter, if anybody's ever following you, just let us know. What if she told her parents, hey, there's some guy in a station wagon has been following me all friggin' day, and he's wearing a mask. Number five, which was actually addressed in the novelization, but not in the movie. What if Annie, while they were driving to go babysit, noticed Michael following them in the rearview mirror? Because in the movie, there's no mention of it. She doesn't even allude to it. She's not even paying attention to it. She's too busy getting high and talking to Laurie. In the novelization, if you read the novelization, we have a book club on here. So if you haven't read it, go check out the Halloween book club, where we discuss all the different chapters and the differences between the movies and the book. And you'll see that we went over this. And in the novelization, it mentions that she realizes that he's following. And then when he peels off, when they're coming towards the hardware store, then she sees it. She mentions, oh, he turned away. So, but what if she noticed that, pulled up in front, saw her dad, said, hey, look, there's a guy in a station wagon following us. And then Loomis would have shown up a couple of minutes later, talked to Brackett about it, and said, hey, it was a gray station wagon, and he's loose. And, well, you know what? My daughter just said there's a guy in a gray station wagon following them. Number six, what if when Annie gets a phone call from Paul saying, hey, look, I figured out a way to get out. Why don't you come pick me up? And she said, no, I can't because my clothes. Why don't you come here? What if he said, okay, fine, I'll come there? What if he was actually at the house the whole time? Would he have been able to intervene to help defend Annie? Because Annie got killed in the car, leaving to go pick him up. But what if he said, okay, fine, I'll come over when I can, and he showed up, and then you have Lindsay. They probably would have tried to put Lindsay to sleep so they can fool around. Now, how would that have played out if Andy was there with Paul? What if he attacked them separately, like he did with Linda and Bob? Gotta wonder how that would have worked out if Paul would have got off his lazy ass and just came over there. Number 7, what if when Tommy's trying to scare Lindsay while they're watching a horror movie and he goes behind the curtain and starts calling her name, turns around and sees Michael carrying Annie's dead body? What if he went over and grabbed Laurie in time for Laurie to actually see Michael carrying that body? Then what? Because she kept seeing this guy all day long and didn't do shit about it. Now he's carrying your friend's body. What would have happened? Would she have called the police? How would that have turned out? The police show up over at the WALLACE house. How things would have changed if Tommy would have just not waited till Myers was in the damn door to start screaming, said, hey, look, because earlier, remember, he saw him standing there and waited too long. Well, because Andy was, Laurie rather, wasn't paying attention because she was on the phone, taking her sweet time and didn't see him because he had already left. Moved, rather. What if she saw Michael carrying the body? What would she have done? Number 8, this one I mentioned, I think, I forget in one of the videos. Now, when Laurie goes over to Wallace houses to investigate, goes upstairs, and the whole scene plays out where Michael attacks her and comes downstairs and she's running. She goes into the kitchen, locks the door. What if that kitchen didn't have a deadbolt on it? What fucking kitchen has a deadbolt lock on the damn door between one room to the next? Think about it. I grew up in a house, actually in my house here, both houses I've owned in my life, and the house I grew up in, none of them even had a kitchen door, let alone one with a deadbolt on it. I mean, come on. So that was one thing. What if that lock wasn't there? Because he would have walked right in and kicked her ass. Granted, the whole scene with the French doors and there's a rake block on the door, that's another one. That's another goof and gaff. Go watch that video. Here, go check that one out. How did that rake ever get there? But that's another story. Go check that video out. But yeah, he would have got her right away because he would have walked right in the door. Nobody's got... Comment below. Let me know if you have a deadbolt lock or even a lock between rooms so you can basically lock the kitchen off from people. Number 9, the scene where Michael's chasing Laurie across the street towards the Doyle house. And what's the scene? Oh, the keys, the keys. Well, you know what? What would have happened if she had the damn keys? And she was able to open the door right away and get the hell inside. Now, would she have grabbed the kids and ran out the back door? Because basically running upstairs is just pinning yourself in the house. You know he's going to get you. But the whole scene plays out because she dropped the keys somewhere along the way and didn't have the damn keys on her. What if she had the freaking keys, was able to get in the door, get inside, wake Tommy's freaking dead ass up, grab them, and got the hell out of the house instead of having to throw a plant to wake Tommy up? What if? And my number 10. Now, the biggest question. What if, at the end of the movie, when Laurie's getting choked by Michael, what if Loomis was late? Think about it. A couple minutes later, she would have been dead. He was choking her. He was going to overpower her. He was going to kill her. What would Loomis have done? Obviously, would he have shot him? Would he have tried to talk him off the roof and said, hey, come with me. Let's figure this out. How would that have played out had he been 5 minutes late and Laurie was dead now? You wonder. Because it's plausible it didn't need to have a survivor. This was never set up for sequels. He could very well have killed her. And then Loomis walks in. What's he going to do? He's just start blowing him away? He's going to wait for the police? What's Michael going to do? Michael going to kill him? These are all what ifs. So these are the things I ponder in this head of mine when I'm down in my Halloween room. Yeah, I know. I need my head examined, right? What if Pat had his head examined? Exactly. So those are my 10 what ifs. Do me a favor. If you have a couple more, comment below. Because these are just ones that rattled off the top of my head. I probably could have did more, but I figured, let's just keep it to 10. And I'm probably going to go from movie to movie and do a couple more what ifs. Because this was actually pretty interesting and pretty fun. And get a lot of dialogue going between Halloween fans about, hey, what could he have done here? What could this have done? How would this have played out if things turned out a little bit differently? So I'll probably do a Halloween 2 what if next and just go right through the line. Because some of these movies, especially some of the later movies, some of the ones I'm not the biggest fan of, there's a lot of what ifs. Like, what if they completely change the whole movie and it become a shit fest. So it's going to get interesting. So do me a favor. If you're a Halloween fan, you love Halloween content, like this video. There's tons of Halloween content on here. A lot of Halloween shit, all sorts of shit. You'll step on a lot of shit on this channel. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Helps a brother out. Don't cost nothing. Be sure to check out our podcast on Sunday nights. We do watch-alongs. There's all sorts of stuff here. Everything's in this description of this video. I don't need to keep rehashing it over and over again because everybody can read. Check it all out. But I'll see you guys on the next time. Make sure you comment below. I want to hear some more what-ifs because you guys are pretty clever. You probably come up with ones I didn't think of. So I'm curious to hear them. So make sure you comment below. And I will see you on the next What If for Halloween 2. And I will talk to you soon.